Hi guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to draw your walls in 2D mode. So very important step. What you're going to do, let's say you've uploaded a floor plan. If you haven't watched that video, do check it out. But if you do upload a floor plan first and want to draw your walls out over top, you don't need a floor plan. It's just one of the options. But when you do that, it's going to automatically navigate you to background plan mode. And all that means when you're brought to background plan mode is that you can grab hold of your floor plan, move it around the grid, you can edit the opacity or delete it or rotate it, right? So this is covered in another video, but the point that I want to make here as far as how it affects your wall drawing tools is that in background plan mode, these tools, your wall and your room that we're going to use to draw our walls, will not be readily active. So, two choices. If you've uploaded a floor plan, you're ready to start drawing, you can double click and that will automatically switch you to floor plan mode and activate this, in this case, the room tool. Or you can navigate from background plan mode from this drop down to floor plan mode, and that will activate both of these tools. So double click or just navigate from the drop down to floor plan mode. That's number one. If you don't have a floor plan, like I said, you can still draw. So two different tool options that you have. The room tool, when you click on it once, is going to draw 4 connected walls for you. So I'm going to simply click once, and I'm not holding down my left click on my mouse, and then I'm moving out my mouse or my cursor to map out the space. You'll notice that my interior dimensions appear on the inside of the walls, and also my interior dimensions appear in the bottom right hand corner of my cursor. So what's so nice about this is that if you know that those measurements, you can just start typing. You don't need to click on the window, just start typing. Let's say this needs to be 18 feet by 19 feet. I'll enter that here. Click on enter, and the software will automatically set those interior dimensions for me. I'm just going to click the escape key on my keyboard to get out of this cursor so that I'm not drawing any more rooms. In this new version, it will also automatically generate the square footage of the space, which is lovely. And now I can start to draw walls inside. So one of the new features of Foyer is that we have sub-inch dimensions. We also have the ability to enter our wall dimensions in inches rather than just feet. So really big. I'll show you how to do that. First of all, if you go to File, if you want to enter all of your dimensions in inches, simply click on File. You'll see Set Dimensions here. We have feet. Now we have inches. You'll see that this is reflected here. And of course, if you work in meters or millimeters, you have those options which were previously available as well. So something to keep in mind. And then the sub-inch dimensions that I was talking about, let's say we click on our wall tool. This is going to draw me individual walls. So when I click once and again, move out my mouse, you'll see I have 5 feet, 10.25 inches. So you can set this all the way down to, I believe, 4 decimal points. And again, you can just start typing. So if I need this to be 5 feet, 10.75 inches, I can type that right in, click enter, and it will set it for me, and then it'll start my cursor off at the end point. I'm going to click the escape key once more to get out of that. One important note that I want you guys to take a look at. You'll notice that there is a yellow square at the end of this wall. When I hover my cursor over to say this wall, there's no yellow squares or anything like that. This is because this wall is joined to these walls here. This wall at this end is not holding on to anything, right? So when you see a yellow node, the yellow node is indicating the wall is not joined. If this were an exterior wall, so let's say I delete this wall, and now we have yellow nodes here. If I were to head into 3D mode right now, there would not be a default floor or a default ceiling, as you can see, for me to work off of. The reason for that is because one of my exterior walls is not joined. So if ever you draw out your walls, you head into 3D mode, you have no floor and no ceiling, and you're wondering why that is, that's a cue to you to navigate back to 2D and make sure that any exterior walls have been closed off and there are no yellow nodes. So I would simply close that off. I can have interior walls that don't connect to anything. So now when we head back into 3D, I have a floor, I have a ceiling, and I simply just have a short wall here that doesn't connect to anything. That's fine. Just make sure your exterior walls are closed. Now let's say I have uploaded a floor plan. It's the same process. So like I said, when I upload a floor plan, it automatically brings me to background plan mode, which allows me to grab hold of the floor plan itself and move it around the grid. I can then click on edit, and this is explained in a separate video. I'm going to click on this drop down, navigate to floor plan mode, and activate my wall drawing tools. Now I'm going to click on the room tool first. Click on this corner here. Just once, I'm not holding down my left click, I'm going to drag this out and set the outer edges. I can click on the escape key to get out of that cursor, and then I can grab hold of these walls individually and just tuck them in if I'm a little inaccurate with my first placement. Now I can grab my wall tool and draw out all of my walls. You'll notice that as I'm drawing out my walls that there are indicators for doorways, there are indicators for windows, and I'm drawing my walls straight through. When you place your doors and your windows on the software, first of all, they need a wall to adhere to. So you're not going to leave gaps in your walls for where those doors or even open air entryways or windows would be placed. You're going to draw your wall straight across, and when you place your door or window, the software will create that cavity for you and see through the walls for you. You don't have to do that yourself. So I'll just draw these over top and start to map out the different areas of my space. And that's that. It really is that simple. I'll click the escape key to get out of this wall drawing tool. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to edit these walls. So we'll talk about editing the length, the ceiling height, and the thickness of these walls to get your dimensions just so before you start designing. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Hi everyone. So today I'm going to walk you through how to edit the height of your walls, the thickness, and the length of your walls in 2D mode. So here we are, we have a project open in 2D, and what I'm going to do is select the wall. You'll see that it highlights pink, and then I'm going to click on this little pencil. It's the edit icon. When I do that, wall properties is going to pop up. So in wall properties, the first change that I can make is to my ceiling height or my wall height. The default is full wall. So full wall, as you'll see here, the changes to full wall will create changes across the entire floor plan. So let's say my walls in this particular apartment need to be 12 feet tall. I would simply change that dimension in the window here and click enter. Now, let's say I have certain walls that I want to be a different size and I don't want it to change the entire floor plan. So this little outdoor patio, for instance, is a perfect example. I need to have my walls so that the software generates a default floor and a ceiling for me, but I obviously don't want 12-foot tall walls, I want railing. So for the walls that are going to have the railing that you see here, I'm going to select the wall, click edit again, and this time I'm going to change it to partial wall. When I do that, you'll see that the changes will only apply to the selected wall. So now in this particular instance, I'm going to bring it to 0, click enter, and that's going to bring the wall down to ground level. I'm going to do this across all 3 of these walls. And lastly, partial wall, 0, enter. Let me show you what that looks like in 3D. 12-foot walls here, walls at ground level so that my railing can appear here. Alrighty, let's say you need to adjust the thickness of a wall. Again, we're going to select, click edit to bring up the wall properties window, and down below I can set my thickness directly by entering the dimension here, or I can adjust it manually here. So you'll see that I have these 2 blue arrows that pop up when I select a wall. I can click, don't hold down your cursor, and then drag it out, or I can enter in a specific dimension in the window. Now lastly, if I want to adjust the length of my wall, let's say that the interior dimension for this needs to be exactly 12 feet. What you're going to do is select a joining wall. So this wall or this wall that's connected. When I select that, you'll see that the windows to edit the connecting walls dimensions appear. So now I'm going to enter in 12, click enter, and now my interior dimensions for this wall is 12 feet. Alrighty, so that is how you edit the ceiling height or the wall height, the length and the thickness of your walls and wall properties in 2D mode. That's all I have for you guys today. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.